I used to be a real big people pleaser. In high school, when I first started in year 7, I was unapologetically myself. But then, as the year progressed, I was a rowdy kid. I would often make others uncomfortable without me even knowing it. And that's not to say that I broke the rules or anything. It's just I was a lot bigger than a lot of the other kids. And sometimes I didn't even understand that I was hurting them. To me, it was all just playful banter, you know? And then I remember at around the end of year 8, or maybe no, it was the start of year 8, the end of year 7. I remember I was beefing with someone over Instagram DMs or something. A little conversation. You know, I did this regularly because most of the kids in the school didn't like me. And I remember seeing a screenshot. So I was arguing with this person and then they just showed me a screenshot of a group chat where people were literally just saying that I was awful. You know, I fucking hate Lahiru. He's so violent. And he's so annoying. And you can imagine that the fact that I still remember it to this day, it had a big impact on how I managed my relationships in high school. And I think that was the number one event that sort of created my people-pleasing mechanics in my brain. From then on, I remember I really dialed it back. When I went back to school in year 8, I remember I just accepted the fact that people didn't like me, but I was also 100% willing to change it. So instead of being a kid that had my own opinions, that was doing what he thought was right, I would look to other people and see what they did, and I would copy them depending on the situation. As you can imagine, this was the start of my people-pleasing journey. Ever since year 8 onwards, I would literally just do what I could to fit in with other people. I was tired of people not liking me, so I did my best, despite the fact that everyone hated me. I had maybe 2 or 3 friends by my side that actually stuck with me the whole way, but despite the fact that everyone else hated me, I did my best to do whatever they thought was right. I did my best to do things that other people would like me for. And that was the start of my people-pleasing journey. And you know, I adopted these habits in high school. You can imagine year 8, year 9, year 10. All this time, I was just doing what other people would like me for. I never once stopped to think, what do I really want? I would change my opinions around others in political discussions, depending on who was listening. And I would change the fact, like even something as little as liking a subject. If in my head I was thinking, oh, I quite like biology, but there was someone in the discussion that said biology sucks, I would instantly change my opinion right there and then to, oh, biology sucks. Or the school lunches are so bad, when I genuinely enjoyed the chicken tenderolls or something like that. And I think it's a really important discussion to have, because I know there are other kids like me who are adopting these habits and losing themselves in the process. These people-pleasing habits followed me into my 20s. And I'm only 21 now, but You can imagine what the past few years of my life has been. I'm out of school now, I'm in university, and I've only just started to dissect these habits that I've had for years on end, the habits that I grew up with. So I imagine that if you're watching this video, that you're like me. Maybe something happened when you were a kid. Maybe you people please towards your parents, or maybe it's towards your friends. Maybe there's just some part of you that needs everyone else to like you. I'm here to tell you that this mindset is wrong. Just as much as you want other people to like you, you can't go around changing your worldviews from discussion to discussion. You need to discover who you are and portray that out into the world. And you might think, oh, what if people hate me? Yeah, that's what I thought for a long time. If I truly say what I think on this subject, people will hate me. And that may be true. There may be some people that hate you. There may be some people that dislike your opinion on a certain subject. But there are also going to be people that love you for that. There are going to be people that love your unique twist, the way you see the world, the way you see this particular discussion. Let me tell you a story of one of my first girlfriends. So I was about, I think, 18 at the time. And there was this girl that I'd been friends with for a while, maybe 3 or 4 years. And, things sort of accelerated. And then we were kind of talking and we liked each other. So it was kind of one of those. It wasn't an official relationship, but we also knew that we liked each other. And I remember in the first month of us talking, she would always ask me questions about, hey, what's your favorite music? What's your favorite? I remember one in particular was Deftones. What's your favorite Deftones song? And I would always just look at what she has in her playlist and say one of those. My people pleasing was so bad that I could not tell her what my favorite song was because I was afraid that she wouldn't like the same thing and therefore wouldn't like me. To be honest, I wasn't even sure if I had a favorite song because to this point I had just been, I don't know, it's like I didn't even find my sense of self because I was so stuck in the people-pleasing world. I couldn't even tell her what song that I liked. I want you to think about that for a second. Imagine people-pleasing so hard that you can't even tell someone what your favorite song is. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video because if you are a people pleaser, you need to stop. You need to find out who you really are. Take some time. Even if you don't know who you are, even if you don't have a great sense of self right now, you need to take that time in discovering who you are and what you love. And then the next step, after finding out who you are, you need to unapologetically give that to the world. This is a message to my younger self as well. If only I could tell him, people are going to hate you, but just as many people will love you, even more, for you having your own opinions. You don't always have to please everyone else in the room. I don't care if you're stuck in this class for the next 5 years or stuck with the same cohort for the next 5 years in high school. Just be yourself. You don't need to have everyone liking you. It's this concept of polarization. So instead of people just being in the middle of, let's say this is loving you and this is hating you. Instead of people just being in the middle, you want people at both sides. So you can stick with the people that love you for who you are and The people that hate you are just going to be there. So what? Yeah. I'm just thinking about it now because this whole people-pleasing mentality has followed me even out of high school, and it's been such a hard thing to shake off. I remember I was sitting by a campfire with there was this gather, so basically just like a house party. And I remember talking to one of the I didn't even know the girl that well, but one of my friend's boyfriends. And we were talking about, this is when I was first realizing that I had this people-pleasing mentality, that I would just change my opinions in conversations and appeal to the most likable answer. And I remember, yeah, I told him about it, and it was like a full heart-to-heart. And then I remember somewhere along the night, he asked me what my favorite drink was. And then I think out of just like a basic response, I said vodka because, you know, back then we were drinking a lot and it was the most common drink. And I remember he looked me in the eyes and said, "No people pleasing. Now give me your honest answer." And then I actually sat there and thought for a second, you know, which drink do I actually enjoy to drink? Which one tastes the most appealing to me? And eventually, after about 2 to 3 minutes, I said gin and tonic. And no one in our group really drank gin, and especially not gin tonics. And it was probably one of the first liberating experiences that I've had when it comes to not being afraid of other people's opinions. If you are a people pleaser, just understand that I relate to you. I understand what it's like to want to be so sick of being hated that you just want everyone else to like you. And you say things that you don't really believe in, or you confirm your opinions on a subject that you don't really know what you believe on. What you believe in, sorry. What am I saying? You solidify yourself onto the path most likable. But I'm telling you that you need to solidify yourself on your own path. You have to. Otherwise, you're just going to keep betraying yourself. Whether that be with friends or even in relationships. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say. I might make another video on this soon because there are so many other examples in my life where I've basically just been a people pleaser and then been unhappy with the result. Even though I created the situation, I manipulated it. I was a people pleaser in that situation and I created the situation and made it follow my people pleasing tactics, only to be unhappy with the result. And I hope that if you are a people pleaser, that you watch this video and you take a good hard look at yourself and you question whether your beliefs are truly what you believe or what you want other people to think that you believe because you want to be likable. I want you to notice in every conversation when you start to solidify your opinions in a way that doesn't truly align with who you are. If you just agree with someone else for the sake of not complicating things, that is people pleasing. And you need to notice it. You need to be mindful of when you are people pleasing, and you need to stop it because it is unhealthy. You are going to go down a path where you don't even know yourself, and it's going to be way too late if you don't realize it now. Alright, that's all I wanted to say. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.